to Japan when I was 17 years old.
You moved to Japan when you were 17, so that's high school.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now welcome to the R&R Network. I'm Roger, and who are you?
Lisa.
You're the Lisa of the R&R Network, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, today we are doing part of Lisa's output.
Mhm.
And what we're going to talk about today is kind of a really, I think it's a really interesting background from Lisa's, well, her journey from China to Japan. So, Lisa, can you tell us about where you were born?
I was born in Beijing, China.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit about your early years?
So, I was living in China until I moved to Japan when I was 17 years old.
You moved to Japan when you were 17, so that's high school.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now I know you've got a really interesting story. And can you tell us about your early years with your parents? Um, you know, what was your path to Japan? Um, would you be willing to talk about that?
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
no problem.
So, tell us your
So,
story. Yeah.
yeah, so I was born, my dad is an artist. My mom used to be a doctor, and they got divorced when I was 7. No, no, when I was 6. But before that, I moved to my uh, grandma, which is my mother's side grandma's house,
Mm,
when I was 4.
why did you move to your grandmother's house?
Because my mom also working. So usually, women in China, even they get married, they still working until retired.
I
So
see. Okay.
so it's kind of a common thing.
Okay.
So my parents were working, and my dad's work was like, uh, he has to make a lot of kind of business trip,
Right.
because he do like sculptures and paintings and stuff. So he has to go around China.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and China is huge. It's as
Yeah.
big as
Yeah.
America,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you have to
Fly
go to,
across or
yeah, fly
yeah.
across
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah.
So he usually he doesn't he wasn't usually staying at home. He was not at home usually. So so there's only my mom working in the hospital, and the hospital's kind of busy, so she doesn't have time to take care of me. So they sent me to my grandmother's house.
At 4 years old.
Yeah,
Okay. And then they divorced when you were 7.
a 6,
6. Okay,
6.
sorry. Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't even know that until I was 9.
That's wow.
but
Wow.
but I was kind of sensed something,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, and even before that, my mom moved to Japan when I was 6. So she got divorced
Then
when
moved
she
to
moved to
Japan,
Japan.
really?
Yeah.
Why did you choose Japan?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think one reason is because a lot of her friends moved to Japan.
Okay.
So it's kind of easy to do the process.
Okay.
And after that, and after she moved to Japan, she really liked here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
what happened after that? Like
yeah, but I was like, I moved to my grandmother's when I was
4,
4,
right?
and stayed there until I got to Japan when I was 17.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So during that time, I was living
I-
with my grandma.
With your grandmother. Okay. And then you found out about the divorce at
when I
9.
was 9.
Okay. How did you find out? Like, did someone tell you or?
No, no, no. I found it out by myself.
So they didn't tell
So
you.
they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me any words.
Wait, so they got divorced when you were
6.
6 and
And
you
I found out when I was 9. So
9.
3 years later.
Wow.
And
Okay.
how I find out was like so my dad usually go around the
Oh,
China to do the
right, right,
trip.
right,
So
right.
he was always not at home.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of like a normal to me, but he comes comes to visits to my grandma's house like twice a year or something,
Mhm.
and there was a long time he didn't come, and I was so when I turned to 9, I was able to go
Go
around by
around
a
by yourself.
bus.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Go around the city.
Yeah.
So I went to my born house,
Okay.
like the original
The
house,
original
my
house, right?
parents' house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about like a 40 minutes by
By
bus
bus.
from
Okay.
my grandma's
Okay.
place.
Okay.
So at night I was finally able to move around by myself,
Mhm.
and since my dad didn't visit for a long time, I uh, I decided to go to my born house by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to get this straight. So your parents divorced when you were 6,
Mhm.
and you didn't find out until you were 9.
Mhm.
And your mother moved to Japan when you were.
6.
Oh, that's so crazy. But did you know your mother moved to Japan?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
I
Okay.
know that. I
Okay.
know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I start going to the elementary school, which is 6 usually in China,
Okay. Okay.
and she entered to my入学式.
Entrance ceremony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
entrance
We
ceremony
don't have that in
of
America, but
my elementary school, and right after that she moved to Japan, and right after she moved to Japan, she divorced with my dad.
wow. Did she tell you?
No.
No. Okay. So right, you're a young kid. Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Okay.
during that time she was in
In
Japan, and
Japan,
my dad's always
in China,
in
doing
China
stuff.
doing
Right.
stuff.
Right.
So it's kind of uh so it's not like strange, which my parents
You were
didn't
used to that.
hear.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. Not seeing them. So,
Yeah.
um, when your mother went, like, why? How? Like, why was she in Japan? What did she do? Like, student visa?
Yeah, yeah,
It
student
was a
visa.
student visa.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Okay.
was studying in Japan.
She was studying.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
But not really studying, I guess.
Maybe
Usually
escaping.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
skipping a lot and did a lot of part-time jobs, I guess.
Right. Right. But she was legal in Japan.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, let's push ahead a little bit to when you got to Japan. Like, how did this come about? Like, how did you get to Japan? Like, what was the process
Yeah. So so when I found out the divorce at 9
at
because
9?
I
Uh
went
huh.
to the original house, and find out my dad already remarried and
Wow.
already got
wow.
a kid, which
Already.
was like 1.5
Wow.
years old.
Right. Right.
I was so shocked.
That. Yeah. I can
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah, yeah.
can imagine actually.
Yeah. And I didn't even know the divorce, and didn't know my dad got remarried, and he even got another kid.
At 9 years
No,
old.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, finally I processed my feelings and accepted.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
I don't know. It
Okay.
took a long time, I guess. Well, I accept the fact immediately,
Okay.
but the feeling process took a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
I I could only imagine.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I keep thinking about the relationships and marriage a lot.
Right.
Yeah, when I was pretty young. Yeah.
So then after that, at
Mm.
9 years old, you found out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stayed with your grandmother
Yeah.
until
Until I moved to Japan when I was 17 years
okay.
old. But before that, my grandma got sick,
Right.
and she couldn't take care of me, and I couldn't take care of her.
Mm-hmm.
So she was moved to
Oh, some facility.
my auntie's house.
Ah.
Yeah. So my auntie and uh,
Right.
her husband and family took care of my
Her. And
grandma.
then you had to do something.
Yeah, so I was kind of living by myself since like 16 years
Right, right,
old,
right, right.
around that,
In your grandmother's house, I
in my
guess. Yeah.
grandmother's house.
Okay.
And then my mom decided, so the original plan was to move to Japan. We already decided
Oh,
I
you were gonna move to Japan.
gonna
Okay.
move to Japan
Wh-
when I graduate from high school.
Okay,
But
okay.
my grandma got sick and
Ah,
nobody took care of me,
right, right.
and I was even like adult
But right, right,
legally
right, right. Oh, okay. In Japan, or
in
in China,
China.
right?
So
In
in
China,
China, in Japan, it's 20 years old.
right, right,
You
right,
become a
right,
legally
right.
adult, and in China, it's 18 years
18.
old.
Okay.
But I was kind of like a
In between.
16. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Didn't even got became a real adult
Adult. Right, right.
legally,
Yeah.
and so they decide to have me move to Japan
Who,
earlier.
who's they? Like, you.
My mom and my mom remarried a Japanese guy in Japan.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
when I was like 15 years old,
Okay, so
around that.
right, right.
Yeah, and yeah, so around that time, uh, the decision already made that I'm gonna
You're gonna go to
move to
Japan. Yeah,
Japan.
okay.
Yeah, eventually
Yeah.
when I graduate from high school.
I
But
see.
since my grandma couldn't take care of me and she got
Lit-
sick, so and I was kind of living by myself at that time.
mhm,
So we think it's better to have me move to Japan earlier,
mhm.
which when I was like the third grade of high school.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
The last year?
yeah,
Okay, right. Yeah.
just got the last year.
Last year, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I didn't really finish that,
All right.
but the school uh like allowed me.
Allowed you right to
Yeah,
finish or
yeah,
get you got the points, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
give me an permission
Yeah.
that I can
Wow.
finish.
And then you came to Japan and
Yeah,
that's another story, right?
yeah,
So
right.
let's go a little bit further, yeah?
Mhm,
So you come to Japan at 17.
mhm,
You finished high school in China, right?
mhm, kind of.
And so what did you do when you first came to Japan? Like
So when I first got to Japan, we were thinking maybe I should still go to high school in Japan.
high school, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but so we went to the 市役所,
Oh, the city office, city
city
hall.
office,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
and found out that my age to enter to the high school is just past a few months.
Can't okay.
Just
Right.
past few
Right,
months,
right.
so that I couldn't get into
High
high school
school.
here in
Okay.
Japan.
Okay.
So and I was at that time I was kind of tired of
School.
studying at school. Yeah, tired of school. And you guys, I don't know if you guys know about Chinese education education system, or the life in school in China.
Mhm.
It's horrible.
Oh. Oh.
So not recommended.
Oh, right. Okay, we'll get into that maybe
Yeah,
another time.
maybe another time.
Yeah,
So at that time I was totally so tired of
school.
school.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And and my mom and her new husband, Japanese
That's another
husband.
story we have to talk about, but
So
another
my
day. Yeah.
yeah, my mom and my stepfather was running a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
oh
knew
yeah,
it
yeah.
was a izakaya or something, but
No, no, it was Chinese
I
restaurant.
did not know that.
And my stepfather, which is Japanese, he is a cook of Chinese food.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, right. Uh,
Yeah, so my mom was just a waiter, and my stepfather was
was the
the cook.
cook,
Yeah,
but he's
was the
Japanese.
chef. Yeah, he's Japanese, so yeah, completely Japanese. But yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
so they were running a Chinese restaurant.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so I kind of naturally start working at that restaurant.
Right, makes sense. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah, and it was really good. So I can eat there, and well, we're living together and eating at the
Right,
restaurant and
right. It's not
working
so
at
bad.
the
Right, right,
restaurant,
right, right.
and I could, uh, get
A little
used to,
Japanese.
yeah,
Yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
used to the environment in
Right,
Japan, and
right,
I can. So most of our customers are Japanese,
right,
so it's a good environment to
right.
helping for my Japanese
Okay,
learning. Yeah.
okay. So, well, I know you went to Japanese university. Like, how did you get into that?
Yeah. So at the beginning, maybe like around like the first at my first like 3 months in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
it was totally fine. I was satisfied like
Working
working
at the
in the
restaurant. Okay.
restaurant and hang out. But I found out there's no uh, people around my age,
In the
So
restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
so my mom's friends are
Are
all at
old.
her age,
Right.
and the customers
Are
are like
older.
older
Yeah,
people.
yeah. You're
So
like
I
what,
couldn't.
18 at that point?
Yeah,
Okay,
17,
yeah,
18.
17,
Yeah,
18,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's no people at my age, and I felt so kind of boring or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Understood.
there's
Understood. Yeah.
no kind of the same around age friends. So I really want some meet some friends
Okay.
around my age,
Right.
and then I decided to go to school.
To meet people.
Yeah, that's
The main
my
goal. Okay,
the
not this.
main
No,
goal.
okay, what kind of school?
So at the beginning was the Japanese school.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, I also wanna learn Japanese. I
Okay.
wanna, yeah, master Japanese.
Master. Okay.
Mm, yeah. So I think when I if I go to the language school, I could do both, right? That's the
Right.
perfect
Okay.
plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So I went to the school, and which is actually it's running by a Taiwanese brothers.
Okay.
So they speak
Okay.
Chinese, they
Okay.
speak Mandarin.
Right.
They
Okay.
teaching Japanese but speak
Speak Mandarin.
Mandarin.
Okay. And you
Yeah,
speak Mandarin.
yeah.
Okay.
So it really helped me to get the Japanese really
Right.
fast.
Right. Okay. So it was a good school.
Yeah, it's a really
Okay.
good school,
Okay.
but pretty hard,
Intense.
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
intense. So I passed my N1 at my first year.
I'm just gonna say F. 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 F.
And another thing is I could do that. It's because we use kanji in China.
Right. That's so
It's
unfair. I'm sorry.
100% kanji. So actually, Japanese,
Was pretty easy with the kanji.
especially in
Yeah.
writing, it's pretty easy for us.
Uh, okay. Okay. Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
So after that, you passed the N1, and then what
Mm.
did you do next?
Yeah, I passed N1, and I met some friends at the school and also at my
At the
part-time
at the
job.
language
And
school.
at the language
Okay,
school,
okay.
and also at my part-time job at
Ah,
the
right.
family restaurant.
Right at the
Yeah,
family. Right, right,
so
right, right.
I used to work at my family's restaurant,
Your parents'
my
restaurant, right?
parents'
Uh huh. Uh
restaurant.
huh.
But I think I want, so
Meet
when I,
people, right?
yeah, meet
Yeah,
people
yeah.
and get uh get paid, because my my parents' restaurant just pay me
Ah,
like a living and
right,
meal. I want a
right.
more
You
extra
want real
money.
money? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Okay.
I also get some
Tips, really?
tips from
Oh,
at my parents' restaurant. So the customers usually give me tips. So I
oh,
can
really?
save. I could save some money,
Oh,
and I
really?
paid the language school.
From the tips?
Yeah, from the tips.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Oh,
then
wow.
I wanted some extra money, so I start working in another uh, family
Family restaurant.
restaurant. Yeah,
Okay, like Jonathan's or something, or
yeah.
yeah,
Right,
right.
right.
Denny's. Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of Danish.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So and also meet people and practice my Japanese.
Japanese, right,
Yeah,
right,
it
right,
helped
right,
a lot. I really
right,
recommend to do some uh like those kind of
right,
job.
right.
Yeah, side jobs,
Side jobs, there are part-time jobs.
part-time
Yeah, yeah,
jobs.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to practice language. It really helped.
Okay, so you finished the N1 school.
Mm,
You started doing another job,
yeah,
part-time jobs on your own.
yeah.
So, how did you get into university? Like,
Yeah, so at the beginning, I didn't want to go to school again,
right?
but when I finished my language school, and a lot of friends in there, and also I met some friends at the restaurant. They were like really kind of wanna, not really study, but wanna go to the university and get a real job.
Okay,
So
right,
that's
right,
kind of inspired me.
right, right. Like,
Yeah.
right.
So
Okay.
when I so and I got my N1 at my first
Your
year,
first
so
year,
it
right?
gave me a lot of confidence. So decided to go to
University.
university.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me about the process? How did you apply? Like, because your background is Chinese and like,
Yeah. So before I go to the university, even I passed the Japanese test, but I still have to uh, take the kind of like a general test for the
Juken?
university to get.
Juken. Okay, yeah,
So
the SAT in America.
yeah,
Uh,
SAT kind of thing.
right.
Uh, but
In Japanese,
in
right? Yeah.
Japanese.
Okay.
So I thought I need to go to another school
Study
to
for
study
right,
for
right,
like a
right, right,
mathematics, and
right,
also Japanese,
right,
English,
right,
and history,
right.
and yeah, also other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I went to another school,
Oh, you
especially
did
for,
go to another school,
yeah, I
like
went to another school for a
okay,
year, just for
a year.
yeah,
Okay.
just for going to the university.
Ah, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I passed that.
Mm-hmm.
I passed that test and went to the university, kind of thing. Yeah,
Okay, and then you went to university 4 years and finished.
yeah. So and so the difference with other people with kind of like a student visa
Mm-hmm.
is I got the permanent resident
Right, because
visa
of your
at that
mother
time.
and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So but the good thing is I don't have to worry about the visa stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
because other people have to renew their visa like a once a year or twice a year, but I don't have to do that. But the downside is I couldn't get any scholarship,
What?
you
Why is
know,
that?
because the scholarship was either for the student visa people or for
Ah.
Japanese citizens. So there's no kind of scholarship
Wow.
for for people
Really?
like me, which I
Really?
don't need visa, but I was still not Japanese citizen.
Ah, man.
Yeah, so I couldn't get any scholarship. Yeah,
Wow.
even I got pretty good
Good
score
scores and
or
stuff. Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So that was the downside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go one more step
Mm.
before we finish out
Mm-hmm.
because we're getting pretty long. But it's okay. So just one more thing. After you finish college, can you give a brief description of work, like companies you worked for, like,
Mm. Yeah. So at that time, the job market wasn't really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied so many companies and couldn't get a
Oh,
job.
really?
Yeah, and finally got some job. It's just kind of like a administration
Okay.
work.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So and also I didn't have like like uh
A plan,
a
like
plan
like
or
like
like a dream
right, a
job or
dream job. Right,
something.
right,
Yeah,
right,
I
right.
just wanna
Work.
start working.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So just some random job kind of.
So after that, it was just various jobs.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, various
Okay.
job. So I was trying to find my dream job.
Yes, quote
So
unquote. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I changed a lot of companies
All right.
and
Okay.
did a variety of jobs.
Okay.
So the most job I was I've done was administration uh administrator
Okay.
administrator
Okay. Right. Right.
and beside that I used to work um in English
Right. Right.
Eikaiwa
Right. Right.
English
English language school.
language
Right. Right.
school
Right.
as a staff and also as a teacher and
Teacher. Oh, really?
also
Okay.
uh, so uh, uh, in the end I became the kind of like
Man.
tencho,
Yeah. Okay.
like a manager, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
manager
Okay.
of one school,
Okay.
one
Okay.
yeah, yeah, one branch school. But yeah, I finished that, and also my last job, my previous job was interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in really big Chinese
That.
company.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah. We
Yeah,
won't say. I don't know if we could say it, but if you want to, I don't care. But yeah, it's
yeah,
a big company.
yeah. But yeah, it was good. The pay was also good,
Mm-hmm.
and it really used my language skills
Right.
fully.
Right.
Fully used my
Right.
language skills.
Right.
So my mind was like a like a hyper engine or something.
You're right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but it's also was really hard, and but I think I did a good job at that time. And the reason I quit that job and doing this the
Private
business,
work.
yeah,
Right. Uh huh.
private
Uh
work,
huh.
the business I was running is because um I wanna it's kind of my dream to build my own business,
Yes.
you know.
And
So
yes.
yeah,
So
so I'm working on that right now.
so
And I got it's really interesting.
so I think it comes down to another chapter that we'll talk about.
Hmm.
Your next business will not be in Japan, right?
Yeah.
And I think we'll leave it at that. What do you think?
Hmm.
Thank you for watching, and I hope you find this interesting.
Yep.
People have stories. Listen to those stories.
Mhm.
Lisa, any last words?
Stay tuned.